Imagine your club signed a defensive midfielder only to play him as a striker. And it actually worked. Arsenal fans, even you didn't see this coming. Today we're doing a bit of a deep dive into the Mikel Merino transfer, which saw a defensive midfield option turn into a striker that scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League and has 6 goals in his last 10 games. All the way in the summer, when Arsenal announced the signing of Mikel Merino from Sociedad for around 35 million euros, there were mixed opinions about his signing. From the club's perspective, they found a midfielder that can finally play on the left of that midfield three, that can provide both defensive stability in the midfield, but then also potentially pull the strings and contribute attacking as well. However, due to situations such as him being away with the Spanish team that won the Euros, having an extended holiday, coming back to the team and breaking his collarbone, they saw him be missing for around 2 months of action at the beginning of Arsenal's season, missing the pre-season entirely. With this, he came into the team a bit late as the season had already started, and no doubt found it a little bit difficult to adapt. With the intense system that Mikel Arteta's team requires, mixed with fans that are chomping at the bit for a Premier League trophy, there was no time for slip-ups, adaptation periods, any of that. They wanted him to come in and be an instant success. Let's take a look at some tweets from fans around that period of time. Yeah, it was pretty dark. It was pretty dark. Now, I, for one, maybe it's because I made a video about him in the Euros saying that he deserves a move to either Barcelona or Arsenal, that I didn't feel this way. I felt like Merino was a good midfielder that provides a decent option for rotation and for certain opposition. He's tidy, he wins his duels, he's an aerial threat, and defensively, he's pretty solid. As you can see by Arsenal fans, yeah, they were not hearing it. They were calling for his head, and they were calling for the head of Mikel Arteta and Edu that even sanctioned this deal. Why would you sign him and not a striker? But now, fast forward a couple months, a hamstring injury ruling out Kai Havertz for the rest of the season, an ACL injury to Gabriel Jesus, and a further injury to Martinelli saw Arsenal without a striking option to play in the team. And this is where Mikel Arteta made a decision that no one saw coming. Mikel Merino, the defensive midfielder, as the striker. Not only were fans confused, but also rival fans and pundits started to joke and laugh. But then something incredible happened. Against Leicester, he came on in the second half and impressed. Now, he didn't impress just with his 2 goals, of course, that won us the game, and it was amazing, him thriving in that position, but it was more so about his overall play in that game. Again, this is someone who is a defensive midfielder by trade, playing as a number 9, and he's thriving. No one saw this coming, honestly. I don't want to hear anything from anyone. No one saw this coming. No one has a bet. No one has proof that they saw this coming. It's pure genius. Mikel Merino didn't just fill in a gap at number 9. He thrived. In his last 10 games playing as Arsenal's makeshift striker, he scored 6 goals. Now seeing Mikel Merino occupy the number 9 slot in the lineup doesn't seem odd at all. In fact, he seems quite focal to the way that we play now. Drawing comparisons with the likes of Kai Havertz in the way that they're both tall, they can hold the ball up, and aerially, they're quite strong. Really, it shouldn't be too surprising that Arteta decided to put Merino up front to replace the injured Kai Havertz. But again, it's not even just the fact that he's just putting up goals. It's the fact that he's playing as a number 9 as well. The tactical intelligence that it requires for you to have your whole career playing as a centre mid and a defensive midfielder to all of a sudden retrain in a matter of days as a striker, and now you're thriving in that position as well, is credit to both him and the coach. I mean, this upturn in form even saw him score against holders Real Madrid in the Champions League as Arsenal cruised 3-0. Look, what I'm not saying is that Arsenal don't need a striker. Arsenal still do need a striker. However, if we look at the turnaround of perception around Mikel Merino and the transfer, compared to earlier on in the season around September, November, to what it is now, he's an absolute hero for Arsenal fans. He's come in when required, he stayed fit and healthy, which is most important, but he's getting the goals too. He's playing well. He's leading the team into the Champions League, hopefully semi-finals if they manage to do their jobs against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Again, tough ask, I'll talk about that in another video. But he's doing really, really well. But let's break this down a bit. How did a defensive midfielder all of a sudden turn into a striker and start scoring like he's prime Jermaine Defoe? It makes no sense. But again, it's a mix of 3 different things. 1, tactical brilliance from Mikel Arteta. Utilizing Mikel Merino's ability in the air, I feel like was a major decision in putting him up front. Because drawing comparisons to the likes of Kai Havertz, who they are both over 6 foot tall, they're very good in the air, they're strong, and they don't really lose the ball. So it makes sense to put someone exactly like him, or very similar to the build of Kai Havertz, in that position. Number 2, Merino's positional intelligence. Now, one thing that was a bit of a critique around Kai Havertz and definitely Gabriel Jesus was the fact that they didn't manage to find that much space in the box or even stay in the box too much. But Mikel Merino has not only managed to stay inside the box or inside the dangerous areas in the box when the ball goes out wide for a cross, but he also manages to find a really good pocket of space. And you can see this when Arsenal scored their 3rd goal against Real Madrid in the Champions League. He managed to find space where it seemed that there wasn't too much space around the centre halves and take a first-time shot that end up in the back of the net. It's little movements and little performances like that that make this transition all the more better. And then lastly, an underrated finishing ability. Like, again, for a defensive midfielder, that boy can finish. It's not even just about in terms of choosing, you know, the inside foot as opposed to lacing it, or coming down on the volley as opposed to slicing across it. It's the fact that his ball striking is very, very good, like stupidly good. And if we look at the way fans feel today, they can't believe it. They can't believe it. They're calling him Juan Persie. It doesn't make any sense. I've even heard fans call him the Spanish Olivier Giroud. Mikel Merino's emergence as a striker and upturn in form has not only, I guess, solved Arsenal's short-term striker problem, but it's completely rejuvenated our season. But it's completely rejuvenated their season, putting them back on track to maybe go through and win the Champions League. Who knows? Again, it's a very, very massive ask, but with his goals, they're on course to go through to the next round. And who knows, this emergence might even reignite that hope that Arsenal can win the Premier League trophy this season. Who knows where his form can take him. Yeah, that last statement was a bit wild, but guys, let me know your opinion. Do you believe that Arsenal now have somewhat of a long-term solution to their striker problem in Mikel Merino? Or do you think it's just a purple patch, he's still not that great of a player, and it won't last? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and therefore smash this like button if Mikel Merino's performance has even surprised you. And make sure you subscribe to join MB United to join this community of football lovers where we talk about everything football related, and I keep you guys entertained with at least one video every week. And if you enjoyed this short little breakdown, I think you're going to enjoy this short video just as much as you enjoyed this. But until next time, keep it real, and I'll see you when I see you in a bit.